So what are the problems that come out of this small, when we dig this problem out, what are the things that came out? Like one is, client needs to be responded, right? I think that's one thing, needs to be responded ASAP. Second one is, the second one is also missing WhatsApp reminders. That's the third one. Second one. The third one is failure to ask for answers from from just WhatsApp, by just searching, by just searching Google, or in this case, Google could not have helped you, but just our own WhatsApp messages, right? You agree with that, or do you guys think, or just ask colleagues, right? I think this is really important. We have to do that. The second problem that I wanted to highlight was this one, right? Once again, I guess yeah, look at this, right? So this is the conversation between one of our most important client, and Mohammed Abdul Qadir is talking like this inside a client.
Maybe a little bit from the previous one. I connect it with what I see Mohammed Hassan has shared in the chat. Like you will find, since people are in the room, like we are three who are responsible to respond, a team member and a team leader, also a group leader. Then these sometimes, if we don't know exactly who is at immediate, who is supposed to respond immediately, who is in charge of maybe responding, the main character, it sometimes makes the delay. Like you find, I'm maybe a group leader waiting for a team leader to respond, while also a team leader is also waiting for a group leader to respond. Without forgetting also the team member who is now waiting for all these people supervising him to respond. So how can we solve that? And something also can happen, like you find a group leader or a team leader has responded. Then you find there is another, maybe later. It happened for my case with a keeper. I've responded already the issue, but now, and I responded late, a bit late. The team leader, the team member was there, but after I've responded and the client tagged me, I've responded everything. Now the team member again tried to bring issue also as new, respond again in the way, either improved way, which is fine, but it's like, you can understand what I mean.
Yeah, that also I've noticed, like sometimes, the team member is trying hard to talk to the client when it is really not needed. Do you guys understand the meaning of what I'm saying? Like
exactly, that's what I meant.
The problem is already solved. I've noticed this many times. People are saying unnecessary things when there is really, no value in what they're saying. But I don't know how to point this out. Maybe you can, only show multiple examples. But the example that I want to show, Sheila, do you mind? I'm waiting for Shem so that I can discuss, your issue, because your issue is also very important. Can you just call Shem and ask him to join Sheila, if you can, please? And till Shem comes, I'll discuss another issue. Is Mohammed Abdul Qadir here? Actually, no. I just want to show his thing, right? So, it's really simple. This is again, right? Look at Mohammed language, to a client. This is a client conversation. He's saying, this dashboard is Human Hotel and it's my campaign. And you were doing my Blue Label campaign. So he's telling, Ali, you're doing, another campaign. So I'm wondering, why did you put your name in my dashboard? And who give you access to do Human Hotel? And who changed the client name in the dashboard while I was waiting to resume the campaign?
I mean, it's hilarious.
I mean, like, I just fell out of my chair, when I read this. This guy is really cool as a cucumber, I know this guy so well, I spoke to him and then, we had a little laugh. But even if we have wronged you, Muhammad, I hope he's there, right? Because it's really important. If he's not there, I don't want to talk about him, then it will be like backbiting. Muhammad, are you there? Muhammad Abdul Qadir? Oh, no, he's not here. Keisha, can you just call him Keisha or Ali? Can you just quickly remind him, because it's also, the problem is, I believe, this is also the problem of Keisha and Ali, because both of them were there in the call with the client and we made a small change in the strategy. But they failed to communicate that strategy to, Muhammad, which resulted in, so Muhammad missed this call, unfortunately. And then suddenly he finds, his entire project has been taken over by Ali, right? And nobody is telling him, anything, right? So he got really upset and he just, blasted everybody, in front of the client, which is wrong, but his feeling is absolutely right. I would have applauded him. I would have really, patted on his back if he said exactly the same thing or even worse things in our chat, in this chat, in this execution chat, which is where we are all there. If he had said this here, I would have said, Mohammed, very good stuff. You should be upset that somebody else just took over your project and nobody even told you what project it was, right? It just said you shouldn't, this is what people call, this is what people call, washing your dirty laundry in front of your client, right? So you should not do this in front of your client. It's just so unprofessional, right? I mean, since Mohammed is not there, please take this as a learning for all of you. You will have terrible things to discuss. Come and discuss it, in your own group, and take all your colleagues for a ride if you need to, right? Be very tough with them. There's nothing wrong in being tough, right? But do that in our group. Don't do it, in front of the client, right? The reality is the client, and that's also another problem. I want to point out to Ali. I don't know what because this has happened to him 2 times. The clear instruction, we had a long discussion with the client. And the client said, Ali will work for, client 1 and Muhammad will work for client 2, right? But both the clients will work for the same account, right? So it's really clear. But somehow Ali never understood this. Keisha had to drop off the call in the middle of the call. So apparently I am the only one who knew this. So I'm really, I want to ask Ali, and this is not the first time, right? Ali was taken to task by another client. I want to show that as well, because you have to be really, really careful what you say, because not everybody is going to be, like Tobias, right? So here is a conversation between Ali and a client, right? So the client is saying, guys, what I don't get is, why are we still not using the new connect message we agreed a couple of weeks ago over a call? So we agreed for a new message, new connected message over almost a 2-hour call in which Ali was there full time. Okay. And then I put the thing, yeah, this is the message. This is the one we finalized. And this is the one that is in the dashboard. Ali and Keisha, can you double check if this is the message we are doing in all our new connection requests, right? So I'm asking Ali and Kisha to double check. And Kyle, I'm saying to Kyle, the reason why you might see the old message, Kyle, is because the connection message went off a few weeks ago, but the client must be accepting them just now. That's why you would see the old message. So I'm explaining, why, there is a possibility. Ali comes back and say, of course, this is the new message we are using. Yeah. The client says, no, that's not possible. This is definitely not being used, as I can see what is being sent out of my outbox. It is still the old message. That's why I'm asking about this. I see one today morning at 9:54. We share a few connections. So Ali, can you please explain? Of course, this message is what you're using. That's nowhere in the above message and the exact lengthy conversation we had live about removing. Is this conversation making sense to all of you?
A lot of sense, Anis. I think the client has some experience that they were still sending the message that we didn't want. Though you are trying to support them by showing them the connection was happening using the previous connection they made. But looking at the thing cleanly, I am very sure they were still sending using the old message, because looking at even the conversation, they never knew they were using one account to send different campaigns.
No, I don't know what you're, sorry, Idi, your voice is very low, not able to hear you properly.
Let me check my mic, please.
Are you talking about Kyle now, or are you talking about the Tobias problem?
Both.
Okay, both. Okay.
Are you able to hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you. It's very feeble. I would say, I don't know what to say in this matter. Be radically transparent. What it means is just tell the truth. Even if you're going to lose the job, tell the truth. Yeah, that's what this means. Be radically transparent, right? Be brutally honest. Like how Ali was right now. He said, I forgot that. I didn't, see the updated message. But the problem is not only that, you did not see the updated message. You did not hear the conversation that went on with the client. So that's what the client is saying. I can understand that you missed an update, but you were there in the call for 2 hours. And all we did was to talk about how to change that message. So it's terrible to see one of you getting, badly, told off by the client, right? And he's saying, I have to say, I'm a bit frustrated that I pinged here asking about it multiple times over the last few weeks. And you were on the line, and when we discussed and updated it live with Anis, right? Let's move forward, and then, blah, 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 but let's, these are not bad guys. These are just, lessons we need to learn. Why am I washing your dirty laundry in front of all your colleagues? Because that's what I'm doing, right? It is not a good thing to wash. Please don't, feel bad about this. I think it's really important that you learn, that all your colleagues learn from this, and everybody, comes better off, right? Not to do this mistake, right? And also, Kisha and Ali, think about how we can win back this guy. Right? How to win this guy back, how to build the trust again. Talk with him every single day. Tell him everything that is happening. Right? Win this guy back. Don't let him, if you let him, remain in this frustrated mood, he will leave us. Because I didn't want to say this, but this is the second time it has happened with him, right? With Kyle, this is the second time. Because unfortunately, he because of this, the previous time you said, of course, I didn't do it. He's going to think, you've just lied to him. Right? Because there was another, of course, before this, of course. Right? If I just keep going up, a message went out from us inadvertently. And he said, oh, who sent this message? This is after he shared the, credentials. And we said, oh, we didn't do it. Of course, we didn't do it. And that, of course, he might have believed us. I'm not sure whether he believed us, but now he's definitely thinking, you guys lied. I hope I'm making sense. I mean, he's definitely not going to think, but let's win back our credibility. This is quite normal. This is absolutely, will keep on happening, but let's win back this guys and, and credibility, right? So this is the second thing. And the third thing is, our, Friar recruitment team. I'm just completely lost, Muhammad, Farah, and Ahmed Basir, right? The client sends you an email. After 5 days, you guys ask the client, why you have not sent me the data? How does, and why that is the problem? I understand, okay, you missed the client's, email, that's okay. But I sent you 3 days later, the client's email to all of you, telling them why you have not responded to the client email. I hope you can see my screen, I mean, I'm like screaming from here, right? So I'm just, Mohammed, when sent this to you 5 days. So I'm actually so this message to Mohammed and the entire team, Wayne sent this message to 5 days ago. And today he came back asking why there is no progress. Farah and Ahmed, even if Mohammed had missed this, what are you both doing? Yeah, I'm sending this email to on Monday, the 18th of April, right? And then I'm sending another email on same Monday. Let's get it done on a war footing today. Please respond to Wayne immediately and let him know that you are working on this and come back to you. So I've sent 2 messages to Mohammed and the entire team. And Mohammed writes this to, on Monday, after I have written the 2 emails. He says, Wayne, I had not seen your email about the updated thing. My team and I work on it and send you the Google Doc by the end of the day. So this is completely, I mean, how can you write such an email asking him, to send the template or no, to not the template, actually, obviously, the search strings. So again, I mean, there is something missing. I mean, you all, the 3 of you are some of the smartest people on planet Earth. So I'm really not able to understand how can you miss such obvious communication. Okay, you missed the client communication. I understand, you're not watching your emails, but you've missed my communication 1, 2, and then you write the 3rd one.
And can I just step in? Thank you
Yes.
for highlighting this. So yes, I did miss the initial email from the client, but I did see your email. And your email, you said, Mohammed, let's get this done today, and replied to Wayne immediately. So immediately I replied to Wayne saying that, apologizing for the error that occurred that I did not see, and telling him that we're getting the work done. Can you highlight what I did wrong there? I still don't understand.
I think, it's this is not this particular email. Let me just, let me, show it to you, separately, Mohammed. I think, it's just a document, right? So this guy, Wayne, he's asking me, on the side, right? He's asking me, why, like he's just continuously sending me emails one after the other, because he's thinking, his emails are not going through to you. Right. but point I'm making is, we have to figure out, so this is also another thing that our communication channels, it's basically all coming to communication channels, whether it is email communication or WhatsApp communication. Wherever our clients are there, we just need to be having a hawk eye. But
yes,
but I also want to check with Farah and Ahmed Basir, what is happening? Why did you both as well miss this? Because this is a big job for the three of you, right? And the client has said, I have updated Muhammad, he had addressed Muhammad, he marked all of his, he's put title, JD strings, IT solution, blah, blah, everything. So this is the first ever time he's giving you.
I completely missed that email. I think it's my fault. I missed that email.
No. I take your point that you missed it, right? But how is that you missed it, Farah missed it, Ahmed missed it?
Yes, Anis, let me respond on this. Actually, I personally saw this message, and I thought Mohammed also saw this. So we were actually discussing over a message, but I was actually referring to a different one, and he was referring to a different one. And I think we take complete responsibility of this. I won't like even to give any excuse. I think this is plainly this is a mistake.
Honestly, it's a huge mistake, my friend. This guy, you have to put it in context, right? I'm not trying to blame any of you or make you feel worse than what you already should be feeling. A client has started a job, 3 people job, big one. First time he's giving you work, and we miss that for 5 days. And that's clearly not acceptable, right? But anyway, go back and build the bond, build credibility. But it's just really, really, I was just really lost, because if leaders like you, with who I have the highest amount of trust, if you guys slip, what can I tell other people? But it's always a good example, that the leaders, are set right openly. And no, you don't have to be worried or afraid or, anything, just be bold, just be bold. Say that you forgot, say that you slept. That's okay. Honestly, just never, never, tell an excuse, never lie. It's not going to help any of us. I can continue, but it's already, 45 minutes, I have, there is much more. Nobody's, this thing, right? Keisha has done terrible mistakes, right? Bahana has done even more terrible mistakes. So there is no leader here in this call who's, who's like, forget about perfect, who's, even able to deliver their job decently, right? But I think, my other thing is, what Jason and, had asked, I think that's a very important one, because, we need to pick it up. I think, Jason, your points are all valid, right? Yasmanik is a very confusing client, etc., right? She is very confusing. I'm not, going to deny that. I even, was extremely surprised that, she signed up, right? But the point is, Tisha, you think you might have been, the point, Jason, you think you might be working hard, and you gave me a long, I really like what you wrote to me, right? That's how I want everybody to respond. But you have to be really also, careful not to overstep, right? Because I'm fighting, your battle, right, Jason? I can just simply just be quiet and say, if I was quiet on that day with Yasaman, that would have been the end of this particular, thing. I was fighting your battle while both of you in this thing we're messing it, like, like she's getting frustrated by everything that she's seeing, right? Just look at the thing here. We're saying I'm saying, I'm just trying to say, she's saying delete the bird symbol. It's not looking nice. I think, it's really nice. Let the bird be there and let it fly out of your photo, right? And then what Zach does, he completely removes that bird and just puts this one. And then he puts this one, Zakaria, right? So she says, sorry, Zakaria, but I think the text should be deleted, which is what, and then he deletes this thing. And while all this drama is going on this side, she's chatting with me on the exact same time, right? She's saying, things like, right? I can introduce, in general, I need activities, whatever. She's just saying, sorry, but design needs talent. Zakaria is not, able to do that, right? So I see your point. I'm just agreeing with all her thing, and she's continuously, where she said something, let me, just read that for you. But what I'm trying to, say is, it's really important. I mean, one of the important questions that I, want to tell you is that do not, especially design, right? This kind of thing is not even your thing. I mean, this poor Zakaria got murdered by that lady, for repeatedly doing the wrong things. And she kept on telling him to do something and he kept on doing the wrong thing, right? So my take is, if it is, connections, this thing, by all means, let them do it. But if it is design and everything, let people not talk to the client directly. It's not good idea, right? So you ask the question, what should Zakaria be doing? What should I be doing? Because it's really important for the team member to take over. I really think, let the team member take over when the time is right. Until then, don't let the team member take over. I remember giving this advice to Muhammad Hassan and Benjamin, because Benjamin is struggling to identify content. He will be completely exposed if we continue, have your own little conversations and let, the team leader have that final conversation with the client, because that's the only way you can, escape this, right? Otherwise, this was a disaster. Again, I think we can, if Shem was there, I would have loved to, yeah, one last thing. Unfortunately, Shem is not there, but I'm sure this is being recorded. So, which client is Sheila, right? So Sheila, this guy, right? Pure Tech. Yeah, I think Shem responded in the execution team, right? This is, it's just unbelievable. I just completely lost my mind. If I had spoken on that day, it would have. So first I wanted to ask Sheila, yeah, so this is the conversation, right? So there is this conversation going on, right, Sheila? And, Sheila and Christine, you guys, so I told you to add Shem into this conversation, right, Sheila? Who told you to add Shem into the group? Sheila or Christine? So, yes, Christian. Okay, anyway, I think, they will agree with me, right? Because it's all there. So Sheila added Shem into the client group because I tell her, Sheila, the client is asking so many questions and he asked many questions and you are really struggling to answer, right? So I said, add Shem. He's he will be able to, help you guys, answer, right? Because there has been 2 instances where, Sheila and Christine had kept quiet for days together after the client has asked a question. So I got a bit frustrated and I said, Sheila, add Shem because, he might be so Sheila add Shem, right? He comes in and then this guy says, we are only doing with 1 person today, but I have 2 more accounts and I want to activate them, right? Here is the brilliant answer from Christine. I really liked, her bold, amazing response. Hello, Nathan. For Jared's account, I'm doing so much and so much and so much at $200 a month, which itself is like, less. It should have been 3. The current pricing for lead generation is 300. Bang. Amazing answer to a client. Sheila adds more. We currently don't have a bundle price. Brilliant answer. 3 accounts would go for $900 per month. That is 300 each. Brilliant answer, right? And I say that actually, I'm really, really, happy with what, Sheila and this thing, and say, and I say, look at the fantastic response given by Christine and Sheila. Okay, the client is already, could we do this better? How can we, close this deal, right? And then Shem says, we can give them a chance. Yes, of course we can give them a chance, but I say, my question is different, right? Then he says the client is still on hold method. So this is Raphael, right? So, he's just, suggesting something, etc. So, some more conversations, but then here comes, Shem, right? He's saying, so in the client WhatsApp group, okay, I think that's important to see the client's WhatsApp. Right? In the client WhatsApp group, he says, let me know if there is a bundle price. Christine says, there is no bundle price. Sheila says, there is no bundle price. Christine sends him the dashboard. Fantastic. Nathan says, can you do 3 accounts for 800? Right? Nathan says, can you do the 3 accounts for 800? What should happen? It's at 9:48 p.m., right? Let's say, and Shem responds at 10:15. And he says, hi, Nathan, 800 since we've been working together for some time, blah, blah, blah. So basically Shem says, okay, we'll take it. I just wanted to pause here and ask so this is, the client asked the question at 9:48 and Shem answered this at 10:15. And he says in this chat that I was not responding. Between 9:48 and 10:15, I was not responsive. And that's why he took a call. And then he says that this is unbelievable. I just don't understand. Where did he get this, yeah. No, I say this should be possible. Guys, this is not a decision for you to take, right? Since you took this decision, you'll continue to work for 200, while the other 2 people who will come on board will take the 300 each. He says, next time I'll correct this. I respect your decision. Honestly speaking, you're seeing the client message and the team lead has brought it here asking for your decision. And all you could give is silent while the client is waiting for response. So I gave silence for 30 minutes. Maybe we should all keep quiet. Your silent doesn't respond to a client sometimes bring complaint instead. Team member struggles to find her client, and this is how we'll reward them when the client has decided to hire more people. The existing team member who was working for the client deserved the 301, the rest for the onboarding member. Now, what should I do with this kind of a statement? What would you do? I just want some, because maybe my mind is a bit corrupted because he is telling me off. I'm just really, I hate to do this, when he's not around. But we will take this up again when he's around. I just said, I'm at a loss for words. Right now, if I take decisions, it will be drastic. So I'm going to be patient and I'm not going to talk. Yes, Eddie.
I don't know if my voice is still clear now. Is it clear now?
It's a bit, we can hear you, Eddie. Go ahead.
Anyway, personally, I feel like this is very rude way to respond. And I think, I don't know, you are too soft enough for us. And I don't find it fair the way you handle some situations. I think, I just don't believe if someone would want to talk very rude the way that message sounds. I've never seen a message that rude, even if you make mistakes. I know there is a way you try to cover up just to pretend everything is okay, though we mess a lot. A lot of time we really mess. And then you come up and then solve the problem professionally without blaming anyone. Blame games always destroys everything. As a leader, personally, I would just say apologies to such kind of reactions. And I'm sure if it could be another leader, it could throw away the hands and say, okay, you can deal with your own life. Yeah. I don't just find this very fair. To be honest, it's very bad.
No, I think, Eddie, it's not a good idea to discuss this without him. But I really wanted to, see, look, I want to applaud people for being brave, for being honest, for being direct. But there is a line. You should not cross that line, not with me and not with your clients, right? You cannot, so you are telling me that I'm silent, right? And it's unbelievable, actually, because, this guy was not there in the client group for 3 months, right? Sheila and Christine decided to do this on their own without Shem, right? He was not there in the group. I forced or insisted Sheila to add Shem into the group. He comes into the group. Within 1 hour of him coming into the group, he writes a message like this.
So he had no idea about what was going on in the first place.
No, it's not even about that. It's about, I got him in because, he's very bold and he will, answer the client, very precisely. And, I expected a lot of leadership, to come from him. And that's why I, asked him to, join the client conversation. But, you cannot, and this is not for Shem, right? None of you in this call can take a decision about someone else's, money, or in that, for that matter, you can't take a decision about your own money. I just want to be very, very clear. If a client says, oh, $300 is a lot, can you give me a discount? Can you do it for 200? Then your answer has to be, I'm really sorry, this is how much it is. Right? I do not think, none of us should take a decision about, reduced price, whichever, just come back to me for the decision.
Yes, Anis.
Yes,
Yeah, I think it happens to me. There was a client I attended yesterday who asked maybe to hire one person, and then this person will be doing a part branding and another part generate leads. But he wants to be paying $150, $150. So I say, no, please, so branding is a package for itself, and generate leads for package itself. But he keeps promising that we'll have another meeting next week. So I made the price to be to remain the same.
No, thanks. I think, I really want to discuss this more with Shem, in the call, because it is really unfair to do this without him in the call, because I don't know what he thought about it. In fact, what I was trying to do while this message was going on, I was very busily trying to prepare, some kind of thing, which I could not send it to him because Shem had already, said yes, right? So I was actually, preparing this slide for to send to this guy, right? Basically, I wanted to tell him, look, this is how much work we are doing for you, right? Just wanted to show him, if we sign up just for brand and network, these are the 4 green things we will do. If you sign up for lead gen, these are the things that we will do. If you sign up for revenue gen, which is like the bigger one, all the golden. So I was going to tell him the reason why it is 300 is because we are going to do a lot of these work. So I was quickly preparing something for him, because I always thought when you want to convince a client for a higher price than what he's already paying, because he's already paying 200. So I was expecting that, we do the work for 200 for the thing. So I wanted to tell him, no, the work that we're doing is actually a lot more than, 300, but we are still doing it for 200. So, the minimum you need to agree is 300. So I wanted to not just say it in words, I wanted to do something. So that's why it's, otherwise, usually I'm quite quick in terms of, responding. So I was actually preparing this for this guy, but Sheman went and committed to this, and actually Sheila is also at at fault, because she said it's okay, we can do it, right? Otherwise, I think Shem also would not have. I don't know, whether he would have said, but it's clearly a wrong thing, Sheila. You cannot accept or reject a client's offer without consulting me. I don't know what was going on in your mind, Sheila, because you're such an amazing leader. So I just want to give you or Christine a chance to talk before we close this matter and move on. Sheila.
Okay. Yes. Hello, Annie.
Yes, Sheila.
First of all, I apologize for all this. At first, when the client asked the question about the prices, I'm sorry for assuming. I assumed that maybe you're going to answer, because you usually come in when he asks about the payments, what. So I thought maybe you're going to ask to answer him on that. So then we try to figure out how we are going to answer that question, because of the payment history of the client. You are the one who used to have the conversations with him about that. So I didn't want to enter into those issues. And then it was somehow tricky, because he used to, they hyperscaled the work, but they paid 200, and that is in December. They skipped some months, and they paid April.
Yeah.
So I was a bit confused on how are we going to price for them, because this April they pay 200, yet it has to be 300. And then they're asking for other accounts. So it was a very tricky situation.
Okay.
And initially it was, you added Muhammad Hassan to be the group leader. That is why I hadn't added Shem John.
No,
I mean,
think,
the group leader.
no, yeah, Sheila, I think, yeah, that's okay. That's exactly my problem, Sheila. These guys, right, they've been, a little bit dodgy, right? Because they told us to hyperscale and they basically, didn't pay us for that, right? So that's why I wanted to be very, very careful, this time, and not accept any of their offers, because you know that, right? These guys have not paid for nearly 4 months so far, right? You know that, 4 months, but I have been paying you guys for all the 4 months, right? He has not paid us so far for 4 months, 4 full months, right? And I want to, yes.
I was on a mute. Did you call me? Did you call my name?
No, I didn't call your name. No moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, let's move on. So I just wanted to be, careful. I want to explain to him a little bit. I wanted to, be very strict with him. This is how it is going to be. And then suddenly I see, that you guys have quickly accepted what he has to give, but anyway, it's okay. The mistake has been done, but, I would not have been, worried about even the mistake, but then, this 2 sentences really tripped me off, like, not only this particular client, I'm keeping tab of every client and everything that they are doing, and informing everybody about why they're, and he's telling me that I've kept quiet for 30 minutes while I was really busy trying to prepare a strong answer. Because when somebody offers you, oh, we can't pay you 300, we'll pay 150, you know what you have to say, Kisha. You should not say, oh, we can't do that. You should say, let me explain why we charge 300, and then show him the amount of work that needs to be done for 300, right? And say everything that is in green and yellow, we do it for 300. That's why it is 300. Can you see the number of things? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is what, why it is 300, because we do so much of work. So when you have a negotiating conversation, it's not a good idea to just say no. You say no with enormous amount of data or a picture or a way to show what we do, right? There is also one.
Sorry, Anis. Do we have this slide reflected in our present pitch deck?
No, it's not. It's not. I'm preparing this actually, so that in fact, you had also asked me to, you had also asked me to, differentiate what's between brand lead generation and revenue generation. Okay, the company one, right? So what is the difference? So I'm trying to put everything so that you can show everybody what is the difference. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's go back. I know you need to run, Kisha, but I just want to how do this organizing, right? So my first thing is having a work plan, right? Having a work plan and putting them into calendar. That is the number one thing that we need to learn, how to put them into the calendar. As a group leader, Kisha, how do you Muhammad Hassan or Bahana, how do you do this? Like, let's say, Kisha, you have 10 clients. You literally have 10 clients, right? Bahana, you, Muhammad, you guys have 10 clients. So how do you can you spend how like, I'm assuming clients is your number one responsibility. I hope that is the case for most of you.
Yes, right? Yes.
Just in case maybe you have other responsibilities. So there is this amazing book, he calls it, First Things First, right? I hope you guys have read, if you're not read this one, it's a very good book, First Things First. And he says, if you have a bottle and you have to fill it by pebbles, with pebbles, right? Right? Don't start putting the smaller ones first, right? Put the 10 big pebbles that you have into the bottle. Does that make sense, what he says?
Yes, a lot of sense.
Yeah. Do you know who these 10 big pebbles are?
Yes, the big responsibilities first.
Yeah.
And then after you fix all your time with the big responsibility, even if the small one don't fit, it's none of your business.
Yeah, exactly. So put your 10 clients first. Okay. So if you open your calendar, unfortunately, my calendar is, not there, but, I'll show you with my calendar next time. But fill your work for all the 10 clients first, right? So maybe first thing in the morning, 15 minutes, right? Last thing in the day for 15 minutes. Just 15-minute block for going through all the 10 clients very quickly. What I mean by that is go through the WhatsApp groups of all of your clients, right? I think that's what you should do. You can even keep 30 minutes in the morning. And maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes in the night. I mean, this in my view is your big pebble. Any other thoughts? Yeah, on what else could you do? Because right. So obviously this is for a group leader. In 30 minutes they can do it. If you're a team leader, what do you have to do? If you're a team member, what do you have to do? Same thing, right? First thing in the morning, if you're a team member, just put 60 minutes or even 2 hours in the morning, and maybe an hour in the night. I mean, night as in like in the evening, right? Just it has to be like check this, check this, check this, check this, check this. It has to be like one after the other. You have to go finish your work, finish your stuff. So so this is for your clients, right? And the time will change based on who you are. If you're a team leader, the time will change. If you're a team member, the time will change. Correct? Right? Work plan for if you have a team, then for step up, because most of you have really forgotten that you guys have to also do something for step up, right? Go through our WhatsApp channels, go through our Telegram channels, see what is going on. I think a lot of you don't even do anything, right? So I think we have to figure out a way to do this properly and start scheduling this in your calendar. People like Keisha, people like Bahana, I'm sure you guys have so many other things going on, and your calendar has to be sacrosanct. You have to keep on scheduling it in the calendar. First fill your calendar with your clients, and put at least a 60-minute plan for StepUp.one. Whether it is inviting new clients, many of you have stopped inviting clients. Most of the team leaders and group leaders do not do this anymore. Most of their LinkedIn is lying waste. I can guarantee this. Bahana, Keisha, Muhammad, I don't think you guys are inviting clients at all. And that, in my view, is a huge problem. Your important identity is, you have an identity, right, which could be working for you day and night, but your digital identity is sleeping. Sorry, Bahana.
No, I just want to say I send new connections every single day.
You do?
Yeah, for my own account.
I'm pretty sure, it's not for Step Up.
Step Up. You can double check. Every day in, day out.
Okay.
I have a blocked time for like all these things.
Okay. Because I was pretty sure that many of the group leaders have actually forgotten this, because you guys are doing so many other things, and but it's a see, now what I'm thinking, Bahana, at least all of you, right, you Mohammed, Jean-Marie, Jason, Keisha, at least 10 of you, we should take the bar to a next level.
Yes, hello, Anis.
Yes, Jean-Marie.
Yeah, that is the key. I really love it. But as you said, I do understand why it is very important for us sending always the connection, because the connection we are building, it's our network.
Yeah.
Even beyond
Step Up. Yes.
Yeah, even beyond the Step Up. So that's why we cannot neglect. Myself, even last week, they restrict my account because of that.
Oh, is it?
That, they restrict my account. I send more than 200, and in a short period of time. I know why, but they will restrict me 24 hours. Yeah.
Never do that, guys. Never do that. Never send.
Yeah, sure.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Sure.
I think Loboko has really spoiled us. Yeah. So that's the important thing that I thought. I don't know whether you guys have seen our pitch deck. Things are going really well. And I'm thinking maybe the top 10 group leaders, we can start contacting the investors with a pitch deck, right? We can stop the hunt for clients, and we can start the hunt for investors. So we're going to do that with some of the big names. A lot of very top people have joined us. I'm just not talking about all those things here because maybe you think why this is all important for me, but I think it's really important over a period of time, because we have really big plans. We are asking for heavy duty investment. I'm sure people like Farah and a few others who joined my other meeting have already seen this, because there is no secret when Step Up, right? I keep Christine is invited, I guess, right, Christine? You are invited for the brand ambassador meeting. Mohammed is invited. Farah is invited. So it's quite just to show the part which you might not have seen. This is what we are presenting to our investors, and I want to choose around 10 of you who have really top-notch so sorry, Christine, I think Christine, it will be what I meant is Jan, Feb, March and April. So April has not come, but we are trying to charge them. But if you have not been paid for March, then let me double check that. Ideally, you should have got paid. Thanks, Christine, for bringing this up. But it's basically, so Jan is when we started, but I charged them, so that we get money for the full thing. Sorry for the distraction. I think I just saw a message from Christine. So what we are saying is, look, we don't need to do this in every single camp in the world. If we are able to do only the 10 camps in the world, right, and the total population of those 10 camps, 2.2 million people. Of these 2.2 million people, if you can even reskill just 10%, right, which is 225,000, we can reach a revenue of $1 billion in over the next 10 years. This is what we are telling our investors. But you guys may not have too much idea about every one of these camps. Let's only look at Kakuma. It is 200,000 people, but it is not just inside the camp, but even Nairobi. But is it practical and feasible for reaching 20,000 people in Kakuma? Jason, Bahana, what do you guys think? You guys live there, every day. Is this something that is practical? Or you think this is such an impossible target to achieve?
20,000?
20,000 only in Kakuma.
That's possible. What's the timeline?
10 years.
Very
Practical.
No, please to speak boldly, honestly, brutally. You don't need to agree with me.
My challenge to know either I can say yes or no is among those 20, we should know how many youth we have, at what age bracket, so that we could not expect even beyond the target people, the number we could have in Kakuma.
So we have around 75,000 at working age.
Okay.
Approximately. So 200,000 population, around 75 to 80,000 in working age.
Yeah, which is possible. Yeah. I was a lack of that research.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is we can't do this, in our current, trajectory. We can only do this if we can raise money and maybe, to get 20,000 people. I'm just, thinking if we hire, let's say Jason was doing this job. If we hire 20 people with Jason full time, right, and pay them enough money for the next 10 years and make them literally, set up shop and keep registering new people. That's what they do. There is nothing else they do. But we pay them like good money, right? Let's say, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 shillings every month for doing nothing but onboarding, right? Then this is possible, isn't it? Yeah, that is also Bonfils. I completely agree with you. We are lacking training, and I'm going to address that. In fact, I was trying to give it to other people, but I think I should do that myself. Training. Yeah, I'm going to do this, Bonfils. In a very nice way, going forward.
Yeah.
But
hi, Anis.
Yes.
Yeah, as you say that, just to reach that 20,000 Kakuma, it's possible. As you say that if you hire people just to onboard people only, just doing that job for full time, it can happen. But without doing that, I can see it's very difficult on my side.
Sorry, Patience, I didn't understand what you were saying. So it's possible, but what? Without?
Yeah, I said it's possible once you just, as a step up to hire people, just to do onboarding. Yeah. This one is it can happen, but without hiring people, it's very difficult on my side. Yeah, this is what I said.
I fully agree. I fully agree. But
or maybe why not just motivate the ones and step up, because tell our friends strategy is very important and very easy, and hiring 2 people or 5 people to onboard. When looking at, we have 38 number right now in the meeting, and then say if you onboard 5, you'll maybe be motivated to maybe get $10. That will work best. Then I'm very sure we'll reserve more resources. I don't know. Just think about that. We have very many people who can onboard here.
Yes, I have also. I think it is almost spoke my word, but I wanted to. I should agree with Patience, because Patience has been doing this in the front line, but again, I know even though when we hire people, they will do the same things that patients or any other team member at the SAS center has been doing for several times, and you can see there is no success. My own way that I can see to onboard people and they successfully get the stage to up to the point that they can get job, to sustain them on our team, is how to assign the current graduate by how many. For example, if you are 1,000 by now who are serious, how many we can, each and everyone can have, so that we can get 20,000. And these, of course, we can have this small reward, maybe to motivate, because it is time consuming. We make sure when you onboard people, like you are assigned 10 people, you make sure you are responsible until to what level maybe you will be free. Not only onboarding, I know we have onboarded hundreds, we are onboard many, but because of the follow-up, it's very hard. Many people, they don't understand step up. Yeah, it's very hard to convey. So we can maybe do strategic ways so that someone can only take 10. You make sure you do everything. We suppose not to assume they can follow up the instruction, because I've seen it is almost always in vain. We make sure we take where we want them to be. Yeah, that is my point. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Oh, good.
Yes, Bahana.
Yes, thanks, Anis. I just want to comment on this point. So if we want to scale the way we are scaling right now, we can use the existing power we have within Step Up, the graduate and all these things. But if we want to scale and expand exponentially and get to this 20,000, we need to have a full-time committed folks in the house responsible for doing this. On top, we also need to think about infrastructure, because I can tell you for sure from my own observation, we have quite a number of people in our data Excel sheet. You look at the groups and all these things, but if you look at how many people are active, it speaks a different reality. So that means people are interested to join Step Up, but there are a lot of limitations, when it comes to doing whatever they're supposed to do to get to where they want to be and be able to get their first jobs and all these things. So we need to think, as we are saying, investment-wise, and what is the infrastructure investment? How can we leverage on existing opportunities in these different in these camps? Like Kakuma, we already have these centers. How can we come in and step up? What can we support to make sure we have people present at these different locations? We have space full-time morning to evening. We have all these kind of things. So that way we'll be in a position to scale rapidly and efficiently. But saying that we divide the labor within the current graduates, we'll face the same problem we faced right from the beginning with the onboarding team. There is a very nice idea, of course, colleagues were trying to raise this award approach, whereby, because it also requires money and investment, so whoever is in Step Up, if bring 100 people, for example, you get this kind of award that can be monetized, or maybe it can come in form of money or in any other form, maybe it's maybe another way of leaderboard, I don't know. So we can think about those things. But if we really want to scale exponentially, we really need to have Step Up functioning as a company with its own full-time staff responsible for different kind of
Bahana. Yeah, Bahana, I am with you. Bonfils, if you give me 1 minute to answer, Bahana, I am with you. So we are raising money and we will hire full-time people. But what Jean-Marie is telling is true. Even, and what ED is telling is true. Even if we have full-time people, there is no guarantee that we will be successful. That's what he's saying. Because
no, there is. Anis, look, there is, unless we have a different, because from my own experience in the camp, we have different organizations and folks, like, for example, myself, there are guys who are working for SAR, for example, right now, and they're given clear target, and the objectives are deliverables. So if you don't achieve, you are out of the game, so it's simple. We have clear deliverables put in place, expectations and all these things. So you are employed. You are not coming in as, to play around with, so
shall we try to do this, shall we appoint one of the people here right now as a person, and we'll give him, a small target to achieve?
Yeah,
Yes,
we can do a pilot, and see whether this is something that can work.
Because what I think, let's say, I'm very tempted, to go with someone like Patience, but I don't know whether he has time anymore. But I'm thinking like this, like have a person and give him a small target, like every day, I don't know, 20 people. I don't know whether it is too much to ask, 20 people a day.
Every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's say, Highness.
Yes.
I think when you say every day 20 people, is it from onboarding until? But what I'm thinking is, for instance, when you tell patients, like if you recruit on board, let's say 50 people or 20 people in a month, and then they reach until the level where they are hunting, in a month they have hunted, let's say 500, contract. We will reward you this. You understand?
Yeah. No, I fully, when I say onboarding, it is up to hunting. They have to have a hunting, 20. Yeah. So one person has to be hunting 20 people a day. So we give the power of everything to that one person, one or two people, right?
This is not definite, like you cannot define it appropriate way of onboarding. Not just bringing a person to take a picture, then copy and paste the names or the title.
No. They have to hunt. They have to hunt.
They have to hunt because we know hunting is job.
Yeah. Without hunting, there is no onboarding.
You cannot tell anyone you're onboarded if someone is not hunting.
No. So I am only want to track hunting. So we have an easy way to track hunting, isn't it? So we can experiment this immediately with one person, right? As a full-time, person, and see where that person is able to go. And I'm thinking, even have a simple mechanism, or like what Bahana said, if this person is able to show us, like you said, right, 100 people in a month, we'll pay him 10,000 shillings, right? If he's able to show 200 a month, then we'll pay him 20,000 shillings, right? So that's a very good reward mechanism, that if the result is higher, the money is also higher. I'm just thinking,
let me explain a little bit with the strategic way that I wanted us to go. Because I'm looking at that level as a human being, we have also other issues, whatever. But I was looking to have a small target. Like take, for example, we cannot miss, by now we cannot miss 100 people who can do that work of onboarding in terms of registration, and also make sure people, they have the fully profile made over, and also at the level of hunting. So I wanted the team 100 people, when you assign them, only 10 people. Within a month, it is possible to achieve whatever we are saying. Then within a month, these 100 people will bring us 10,000. We can add the number as they go, they get experience.
I see.
So these people will be able to track the 10 people. If I'm assigned 10 people, I can be able to track all of them, having their contact, knowing how they wake up, they are sick or they are not. Whenever they get maybe a scholarship, they just lose interest, I will be able to report at a step up. I had 10 people, but currently I have one or two has gone this way, is not able to continue with step up. So in that way, we get that perfect result. And
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the small, we reach 10,000, 20,000, very simple.
Okay.
Without a lot of money. Yeah.
So yeah, Jean-Marie, you're basically saying instead of giving one person responsibility, there are 41 people in this call, maybe even more than that, maybe 50, 60 people in this call. So if you tell all the 50 people, just bring 10 people each. Yeah. Just 10 people each. And then we, have a reward mechanism, 2 level of reward mechanism. One is, when they, when they hunt, when they're actually hunting, then, we pay the people who brought these people in, number one. And when they win a job, we can reward substantially.
Exactly.
Right? When they win a job, let's say Jean-Marie brings 10 people. I mean, but isn't that the whole idea of a team leader? If you bring 10 people and you train them and everything, then they become your team, and anyway you will win substantially.
Yes, I think that's a good idea, but my problem is accountability. How do we hold these 40-something people accountable? I mean, how do we make sure they actually bring these people? Because how do we bind them? Like how?
Let's do this, Bahana. Let's do both. Let's do both. I'm thinking like this, because I like both the ideas, and I'm thinking.
I am looking like we have people who are hunting, they don't have a job, and they are motivated by these 500 bundles. What if the same people, they are getting extra maybe reward for making someone success?
Yeah, I agree, because
yes, Anis, I think the idea that is brought in by Jean-Marie is not bad, but we also need to remember that not everyone that we are bringing in who is hunting is able to guide the other person to reach where he is at the moment. But one thing that I was also trying to suggest is, can we, like, let's say we have we make a team. We don't just give patients the role of bringing in 20 people on a daily basis, but we have at least 3 to 4 people who are hired, or even if they will divide that money, but at least this team is given a task of bringing in on a weekly basis 50 people who are going on a weekly basis. We know they will monitor them. They will ensure these people are ready to start hunting on a weekly basis. So on a monthly basis, we know if we will be having 50 per week, then we have 200 a month. But these 4 people are doing this joint work, and one helps in registering, the other one LinkedIn makeover, the other one all these kind of things, and these people are ready to hunt. That is one of the things that I feel like they can be good for us. 2, the idea of hunting, actually we need to have people who are actually consistently assigning clients to people whenever they need clients at a given time. Not somebody needs client, he has 2 days, he has not been given clients, and 3 days, you imagine 3 days, how many people are lacking clients and how many connections has not been sent at that specific time. So, yes.
Kasi, very good point. Just a quick, Bonfils, you want to say something, Bonfils? You've been, raising your hand for a long time. Sorry for, making you wait.
Yes, Anis, thank you. Hello?
Yes, Bonfils, go ahead.
Yes, additionally to what they have been saying, I'm starting to answer. Okay, let me add a bit on what Jean-Marie said. If you want to onboard people and want to add many people in this team, first of all, we have to consider the facilities. So the facilities that, for example, the centers that we have. Last time you have been talking about workspaces. For example, team Kakuma 1, Kakuma 3, Kakuma 4, or Kakuma 2. After having the space, working space, that will be very easy for us to have many graduates. And then we have to advertise the course of this one we are doing. For example, last time I remember we have been learning digital marketing at NRC Center. That one was paid. You learn as you paid. They give you transport, But if you, for us, this case, we cannot give or offer transport, but at least we have working space, which is nice, that can resist. Let me say can, for example, 20 people, 50 or 100 people. That can be also very, very helpful. But if you don't have space for working, it is very, very easy, very hard for us to get many people.
Yeah, Bonfils, I fully agree. There are two kinds of working space. One is just a mobile phone. The other is, you know, a good laptop. We have to assume that everybody has a mobile phone, okay? And without a mobile phone, they anyway cannot do anything, okay? So whenever we are onboarding somebody, all we need is, do you have a mobile phone? You know, do this, you will start getting bundles from next month.
Another one is the follow-up of the leaders. The follow-up is also good. For example, you have onboarded people, but they are there, they don't know what to do, asking for clients, maybe they don't give it. So that also is making people to regress.
I agree. No, I agree. I think, Bonfils, let's make some concrete decisions, because, you know, a lot of times we only talk and we don't make decisions, especially when it comes to money, right? So let's do, I'm proposing this. I want you guys to, you know, think about it. So for every graduate, you know, we onboard, I agree with that thing, Kasi, you know, having a small team of 3-4 people and making them, you know, do the work of 200 a month, and we will divide the 20,000 shillings amongst the 4 people. You know, if whatever target they achieve, we will divide the money amongst the 4 people. Number one. Number two, that's not enough. The 4 people will never make us successful. Okay, only if all of us work, we can become successful. Okay, so I am thinking of you know, one more reward where, like people like Jason, people like, you know, Obedi and Jackson, they have onboarded hundreds and hundreds of people in the past, and they also need to be rewarded for the work that they've done in the past and the future. So I'm thinking, for every new graduate who is going to get a job, okay, we will now start sharing, you know, the 10,000 shillings we give it to the pitching team. We will divide it to, you know, like, I think I remember saying this a long time ago, we will divide that into 30% and 70%. We will reward the person who onboarded, you know, this particular thing with, you know, 3,000 shillings. Because without that person onboarding this person, this would have never happened, right? He would have never got a job if that person have, you know, is that sounding okay, guys? You know, what do you guys think? Because then we today, you know, I'm telling you, like, so many people, you know, I think people who are pitching is going to make more money than people who are working, because it is really working, because of the, you know, the size of the pot is really high. You know, 10,000 shillings for every pitch you win is a lot of money. But, and that's why it is working. A lot of money always motivates people, and, you know, it's really working beautifully so far. So I'm thinking, should we reward people who brings in more people, you know, when that person gets a job? What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's a good idea, Anis, because that's the base. Because if we don't have somebody who is bringing this person in, who will start hunting, definitely that person could not have got that job. And if the pitching team is given those percentage, this is because they are finalizing what has been started by the person who onboarded this specific individual.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
The other thing, yes. But I think 300 will be too much. Can we? I mean 30%. Can we take it back to like 20% rather than 30? Because the number, let's say for example, I have onboarded 100 individuals, and 30 of them get a job on on a monthly basis. How much money will I have got in let's say in that specific period of time? So compared to the pitching person, because this person is also having a huge work to do, convincing this client ensuring the client signs up, and all these kind of things. So to me, I think we can have it at 20%, then the pitcher gets 80. Thank you.
Oh, Kasi, what a generous man you are.
Yes, Anis. Yes, Anis.
Yes, please. Yetungana, sorry, go ahead.
You know, I was on a call and I was having some additional on what Kas have said previously. For instance, maybe I was suggesting maybe you locate the onboarding team like Kakuma 1. The other time we were going in Kakuma 3 onboarding there, but right now we have located ourselves in Kakuma 1. So we always onboarding people in Kakuma 1. You can assign other people in the different places so that we can have location and somebody know. I can also highlight on the issue of complaining about the contact. They are delaying. Somebody now finished the whole week without sending the contact because I have sent the request, but no contact has been sent so far. So you should also maybe manage if maybe some of the people who are on boarding team, they can have the access of sending the contact so that they can help their team of sending the contact. Thank you.
Okay, cool. No, let me quickly, so let's take, my only worry is, how do we, so there is a dedicated team of 3-4 people who are onboarding, 200 people a month. And there is everybody else who's trying to, do that as well. I think, how do you differentiate between the dedicated people? Let's say Patience is one of the dedicated people and Kasi is, one of the normal people. We pay Patience, money to bring on people, and Kasi, we don't pay any money, and he also brings people. But when somebody that Patience got gets a job, right? And when somebody that Kasi gets a job, they should not be paid the same. Because Patience worked for money, Kasi didn't work for money. You guys with me?
Yes, Anis.
Yes. So,
yes,
so I'm thinking, it will confuse everybody, My thinking is, having somebody dedicated as immediate reward, right? Maybe the 4 people that we do this, cannot take part in the reward, maybe. Or shall we try just one method for next 3 months and see how that one method works? Because both methods together will create confusion. I thought, we'll try both.
Anis, I think the best idea would be like we go with one first. We see what's going to be the results. Then we can bring in the other one after having seen, after having evaluated the outcome of the first method. Then we see what's going to happen with the next one. Yes, a combination of the two.
Okay. Yes. So tell me, shall we go with the team of 4 first?
Yes, I think that will be the best idea, because if we give one person the role of registering, LinkedIn makeover, onboarding, then this person will not be able to hit our target. But if we have 4 consistently doing this, one registers, the other one LinkedIn makeover, the other one works on email creation or HubSpot account creation and all these kind of things, then we have, at least we are working in bulk and we can bring a huge outcome.
So,
yes.
Kasi, we have simplified everything. There is only 2 things needed now. One is registration. The other thing is HubSpot. There is nothing else. There is no email. There is nothing else. Simply, we made it so easy.
There's a problem in Kakuma, and some people don't have even Gmail account. We also need to understand that context.
Just ask them to create a Gmail account. Simple.
Yes, yes.
The Gmail is very simple. It can take some few minutes. It can't take even many hours.
Yeah, just
even
go
creating LinkedIn, it takes some few minutes. Even editing it takes some few minutes.
It
doesn't take
only
even hours.
So
yes, what I suggest is that you can allocate people. If there is 4 people in Kakuma 1, Kakuma 2, Kakuma 3, and Kakuma 4, because right now I can't go to Kakuma 3. There are a lot of issues which is happening now during the laga and whatever, and transportation.
No, that is a good idea. Kasi, we have really made it very simple. So keep it to just, one person per thing, because what we have done is, dead easy. Even the registration process, I'm making it so easy. So when somebody registers, they automatically get updated into, HubSpot. I don't know whether you have seen the new registration process. Let me show you, maybe we'll organize. So if you can select, 4 people, one from 1, 2, 3, 4, Kakuma 1, Kakuma 2, Kakuma 3, Kakuma 4, 1 person each, right? Let's organize a call with them and then get started with this one, okay? And we will, divide the 20,000 amongst the 4 of them if they achieve the target of 200. And we can easily track this target, within the, CRM system, right?
Yeah.
And in terms of uniqueness, we will check whether they are unique people or not, with their LinkedIn URL. Okay, the LinkedIn URL is always unique. I mean, combination of LinkedIn, so it's very easy. Let me quickly, I have to go for the next call in 6 minutes. I want to show you how much money we are asking for, but we need to show the investors only one success. So if you can show Kakuma going towards 20,000, the money is ours. We don't need to show in Kisiba, Dada, Bidi Bidi, in every one of these things. We just need to show one success. Okay, that's why, I've spent so much time on this one part. The second part is, this one I want to show you quickly. What what I'm showing here, right? So if you look at this, this is our thing. What I'm saying in this diagram, can anybody tell me what I'm trying to say in this diagram? What is
thing is I think it's like you're having like 250 refugees, and then if you give them employment, it will get to 1.6 billion.
Yeah, and only from the top 10 refugee camps. So what I'm saying to investors is, just with 225,000 refugees, we can make $1.6 billion only from the top 10 refugee camps. Okay, this is our number 1 focus. Number 2 is top 10 countries. Sorry?
Yeah. Number 2. What is the time frame?
10 years.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's what we said already. Okay. The number 2 is top 10 countries. So first top 10 camps, then top 10 countries. So the number goes to 6 million people in the top 10 countries. Then the entire world, which goes to 10 million and 72 billion. So this is what I'm showing as a possibility. We are not looking for the entire 72, but if we can make one, that's good enough for us. But this is our potential. This is how big the idea is. Yeah. This is what we believe. There is $72 billion of pent-up productivity in refugee camps, and somebody needs to release them. And we can possibly, attempt to do it, right? That's one thing. And who's going to buy this productivity? Who's going to buy this? What is our market? We start with founders. There are 1 million founders who can give us $36 billion worth of job, right? Then recruiters, the people like Wayne that, Mohammed is working, right? That's the next million. Then the corporate executives, which is our biggest chunk of people, 20 million. So all these numbers are very, very clear. And, we have arrived at this number after much, calculation. Okay. So there is $144 billion of demand for digital. So 70 billion that we can give, 140 billion somebody can eat or take, right? So that's the product market fit. Where does StepUp.Fund come in? We connect these 10 million people on the left-hand side with the 22 million executives on the right-hand side by doing these 4 things: onboarding, lead generation, pitching, and executing. And where are we today? Where are we going with our thing? So we need to be onboarding 100 people every month, 50,000 clients, contacted, 43 wins a month. Can you believe, we are already, doing around 30 wins a month. And we need to become 43 wins a month in the next 12 months. I don't know whether you guys can imagine that. It's not that difficult for us to reach 43 wins a month, right? And that will take us to $1 million annual recurring revenue over the next 12 months. Okay. So basically, this is where we are. We are on a path towards $1 million in 12 months. And how much money we want? We want $3 million to change the trajectory from 1 million to 10 million. And where will we invest that money? So we'll be investing that money in all of these 5 different engines, right? I'll do a lot more justice, to take you through all these things, okay, properly. And what money? So we'll take 3 million first year, 1 million second year, 1 million third year, to deliver, revenues like this in just Kakuma refugee camp. This is only for Kakuma. This is not for other camps. Yeah, Jason is okay. So yeah, let's do this, maybe next week, guys. I'll do this properly. But I just want to tell you that there is some really, really interesting discussions going on with investors about, what do we do, here. So the only thing that I want to ask is, we need to increase, onboarding and hunting. So onboarding, we have already agreed a clear action. I want to also, maybe next week or this Saturday, I will, we will tell you the onboarding thing, a little bit more. I'm creating a complete new onboarding system because, in order to track everything, so I'll talk about that. I think Jason is asking, Anish, before you wind up this minute, let me take you back to the what do we do with Kevin? I mean, I really don't know, Jason, what do we do with him? Basically, just engage with him in a discussion, right? I just engage with him and see what he has to say. Basically, we have to make him talk, right? If you want to generate a Kenya-based link, we can generate a Kenya-based list for him, right? It's just changing the thing, right? So yeah. See, guys, I know you guys have a lot of questions. Yaradi has a question.
Yeah, we can continue them maybe in the execution chat. Don't be late in the meeting.
Yeah, because it's really, I know it's the client will only join, this one. It's it's Garrett. Do you know whose client is he, Garrett?
Yes, and is he Garrett Lang?
Yeah.
That's Ahmed Bisiri's client, and we're doing lead generation for him. So
okay, so he's going to join now.
Yeah,
okay.
and I think who's offering. Yeah, I think this is the client. Plate rate. Yeah, very productive guy. Yeah.
Okay. So all of you are more than welcome to stay back and listen to the conversation. He's going to get a little scared, like what the hell is this? But I think it's such a great learning experience, isn't it? Why should we miss that learning experience? So all of you are more than welcome to, sit, stand, be with us and listen to the conversation with Garrett. I just enable the waiting room. So what's his name? Garrett Lang, is it?
Yes.
Audio producer. Is this guy? We've already created
down, the third person actually.
Okay, this is he the plate rate guy?
Yes. So he joined from the group. You sent the bunky link with him because he wanted another surface, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so he has only 30 minutes, which is good. Okay, so what does he want to do, basically?
Okay, I think it came quite fast, but we are doing lead generation deal with for him, but he also wanted other surfaces like he asked a few other roles. Ahmed Basir to play. So you shared your booking link on the chat, asking him that if he needs to discuss another service, let him book a meeting. So
can some of you quickly remind him that we are ready, because it's 3 minutes.
I think Mohammed can do that. Yeah.
Okay, where is his dashboard? Garrett Lang, play trade dashboard. Farah, have you created a dashboard for him?
Yes, yeah, he has his, yeah. For me, my role was to actually pitch. I'm not the team leader.
Oh, okay.
Ahmed Ali is the team leader, and Muhammad Hassan is the group leader. So
Okay,
I think,
okay.
Yeah.
So can Ahmed Ali or Mohammed, can you guys tell me where is the dashboard for Garrett?
Let me put it in the link.
Sure. Okay, he's here. Let me just get him in.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just stop this recording.